tuning into the Black Fire Radio.
Usually headset on the side, eh?
Wasanii wakaanza kuambiwa retire, secular lakini unaandika gospel fire. Siliva lie, najua nitasoundika kama driver juzi walai. Nilipanda matatu na train na sio simayai. Nimetoka mbali eseka si shirogai. True story. Leta si mtarudiana lakini hatujaiachana tunarudiana kwa nini na mataniwa inshallah mimi na vijana wawili tutazidi sana kando na kukosana niamini tusipimani akili mimi na kicha ambie wache kujichokesha ulimi mimi ndo ticha ile mazee watata lini kujichocha tunikia tukisimama ona nini mimi na kufa yeah aminia baki mteja tu au kitoka ni achange kwa keja tu najua ikilia ni mtu anataka favor tu kila conversation ni kali maisha imejaa na watu fake si uongo na visu za kunidunga nikiwa geuzia mgongo washase zinakafunga sawa na nyemele zeze kwa kumwaga unga na jitegemea kimani kwa binadamu mimi rekemari kwa gosi kwa sana mimi kasi kupendi sikufichi kuteni hata simu zenu nisishiki kwa pist kwa nini skopist niamini miko pia na go vitu real ka nyinyi mimi pia mimi twa cubits au pia twezi ya get korapa na twa hits ka mimi amini
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. It's Let's Pop with EWOTON. And today we're going to have a very beautiful, deep conversation in regards to the 4B movement and what it is all about. Thank you guys for joining us live on TikTok, on Blackout Fire Radio Network. Kindly share and join in regards to this, and also download our app on Google Store and stream on StreamYard, www.blackfirehotnetwork.com. I'm so humbled to have beautiful guests here in regards to this topic. The main guest we have, it's my beautiful friend, Sinam. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, I'm Sinam. I'll be taking you through the 4B movement that's happening right now, currently worldwide.
Right.
Yes. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for joining in. We'll also have an amazing guest in regards to the 4B movement, and maybe he'll give us his comments after we talk about this. Leslie, please introduce yourself. Thank you again for joining me here on Let's Pop with EWOTON.
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Leslie Georges Jr. I'm just an African man and proudly a man.
Thank you so much. Right. Thank you so much. I'm actually really excited about this topic, Sinam, because I think you, as we were talking, you told me there's this movement that is going on, but I'll have my opinions later, but I really researched about it, and I was really excited in regards to you're supporting this movement, right?
I am.
Yeah, so I'm so curious in regards to the reason why. So I think we'll just have a very good, amazing conversation to the whys and the nots. So I'm just going to talk about the 4B movement and what I basically researched about it. It's a radical feminist movement, which is supported to have originated in South Korea in 2019. And its prominence renounced dating men, marrying men, or having sex with men, and basically having no children. That's the 4 no's in regards to the 4Bs, which are basically kind of like expounded in the Korean language. That's so, Sinam?
Yes, that is correct.
Right. do you mind kindly like giving us a few points in regards to the 4B movement?
Okay, so first I want to take us back a bit of an
Right,
introduction to feminism and how that looks like.
right,
So feminine can be defined as basically the advocacy of women's rights in
right,
regards to equality between sexes.
right,
And we have three major schools of thought that
mhm,
have slight differences to each, right?
right,
So the first one is the
right,
liberal feminist movement.
right,
And this particular movement just has more to do with individual freedom. So that is different from the radical movement that 4B falls under, because radical movement is more of like a collective focus. But
right,
liberal is more of each in man and woman has to have their equal rights. So
right,
feminism, as most people kind of tend to misinterpret, is it's not just saying that women are better than men and they should be higher than men. It's just saying that there should not be anybody below anybody else. And so
right,
it focuses on women's rights because we're the ones who are below. So we pull the women to be on the same playing field as the men. And that is the basic idea of feminism.
right,
Then we also have the Marxist and the Socialist school of thought,
hmm,
which basically states that for as long as we don't have capitalism, we're never going to have any issues with gender inequality, because most of it stems from the workforce, most of it stems from unpaid labor of the women, and that is causing a lot of frustration and it's causing a lot of inequality, and it's bringing along things like the 4B movement, where women are no longer fighting patriarchy, they're simply just walking away from it.
right. So
Yeah.
basically, for you, the 4B movement, how you're defining it. Because how I basically understood this, there's a group in South Korea. How it originated. There's a group in South Korea, a group of women in Seoul that basically came up with this movement, and they said no to everything that I've mentioned, like dating men, getting married to men, having kids with men, and in regards just basically the 4Bs, and also no child rearing with men. And that's what I can see like on TikTok. It's everybody, a lot of African women also, and also the white people everywhere all over the world. They're talking about not having men in this society at all.
Yes.
So basically, that's what you're supporting. Like, we shouldn't have men in the society or in the community or basically in the world.
No, they can be there. I'm a mother of a child who is a boy. I'm just saying that
Right.
until we can figure out the issues that we have, it's
Hmm.
important for women to take a step back and really try to evaluate what is it that you want in your life. Because the men are kind of, they're kind of becoming a little bit more abusive, a little bit more turned off by the institution of marriage as a whole. So
Right.
I think first, let's find out
Hmm.
what the problem is before we continue reproducing, before we continue having women dying in marriages, before we continue having all the sorts of um, difficulties that come with marriage as an institution, with women being left to fend for themselves because the guy can just up and walk and leave, and so now you're the one who's left there with all the issues. And then once we kind of find a common ground where we can both agree on how this thing can be run. Until then, I think we
Hmm.
need to take a step back. Yeah, there's really no reason why women should continue being miserable in marriages and still getting married. There's no reason why women should continue being, extremely depressed by motherhood. And then just don't do that yet. There's so many issues we haven't addressed, and marriage is not something that you just jump into. First of all, the mentality that men have around it is kind of messed up, where they feel like they're going to be above you. And then that's the time they're going to use the Bible to put you down. But any other thing, the Bible doesn't come. But the Bible will come when they can use it to put you down as a woman. And that's one of the institutions that the Marxists talk about when
Hmm.
we're talking about religion. The
Right.
church as an institute that promotes oppression of women. Not to say that church is bad, but there's some certain
Hmm.
aspects that really do put the women down. Then we also have the state, right? So the state can determine whether abortion is legal or not legal. It doesn't matter if you're raped, right? So literally a few hours ago, women have been locked out in Brazil, locked out from accessing legal abortion. Whether you're
Mhm.
raped, that's not a problem. You want abortion? No. And the Bible says so, and that's final. So, not having the ability to have that bodily autonomy is a major tenet of the radical um, feminist movement. The bodily,
Right.
but that movement itself also still does not permit things like prostitution and pornography because that is a direct objectification of the female body.
Right. Okay. So basically, that's what the 4B movement is, how you're basically pronouncing it or explaining it. That's what it's all about.
What it's all about is instead of trying to fight patriarchy, because like I mentioned before, liberalism began in the
Mm,
17th and 18th century. We've been fighting this thing for so long. So the women are like, instead of fighting, let's just walk away. Let's just
mhm,
not get into sexual relationships that do not benefit us. Let's just not
mhm,
have children by people we don't think we can trust anymore. Let's just not get into marriages because it seems to be women seem to get the shorter end of the stick, and let's
mhm.
just not do it. Why should we fight back and forth? Let's just not do it. And as a result, we have, I think, 157 elementary
Sorry.
schools
Mhm.
that have not been able to um, have elementary children join in. There's simply no first graders.
Right.
Yeah. And so above all this, and when I mentioned capitalism, it's also cost of living. It's almost
Right.
impossible to bring up children right now. So the government, brought up this idea where they would be giving every single woman who has a child $75,000, and they still don't
Yeah.
want it. That says a lot. So money is an important tenet, but it seems that it's not everything that women are looking for when they're trying to think about the institution of marriage and everything that comes along with that.
Right. But also, I agree with some of the points that you talked about in regards to how women have been maybe in abusive relationships or marriages, definitely. But I also agree, like, in the fact that one experience in regards to a marriage or relationship should not really define the trajectory of basically of how all men are. Don't you
Yes,
think
but
so?
what seems to happen is that women, we see it with our mothers, we see it with our aunties, we see it with our sisters, we see it with our cousins, and we see it with our friends. That
Hmm.
this person, went into that institution knowingly and willingly, but then somewhere down the road, it turned chaotic. And when it turns chaotic, it's the children and the women who suffer the most because now you're taking away that
Yes.
financial assistance. You're taking
Right.
away, and then also there's still that stigma. Yeah, if you're a woman with children, and you
Yeah.
left your husband or your husband left, it always looks like you're the problem. Like you didn't worship him enough. You're not a good woman enough. You're too educated. It's too much in your head. You're supposed to be
Right.
submissive at times. And you find that you're trying to make a woman submissive, a woman who has higher credentials than you can never even imagine. And you want her to be submissive. You don't want an equal partner. You want a slave under that institution. So I think that's the one thing that women are seeing for themselves. It's not just a fairy tale. And we've gotten to a place where, like, our relatives are more open about sharing such stories, whereas before, these conversations would happen in the kitchen with your aunties, but the children could not hear. But right now, it's very open. It's out there. It's on social media. You can see it for yourself. You see those friends that come to try and hide their black eye because of abuse. You've seen the women who are suffering so much because they have to take on that financial burden by themselves. So you have to be the mother, you have to be the father, you have to be the friend. It's exhausting. So women just don't want to be exhausted anymore. It's not a must. So
Hmm.
for those who want to do it, go ahead and do it. But for those who have a problem, simply stay out of it. You're no longer required by any means necessary to be married by force unless that's your religion or that's the kind of country where you live in. Maybe parts of the Middle East, it's a little more mandatory than it is now parts of
Yeah.
Africa. We've really organized. And so now let me bring over the movement to Africa. Um, there's been a steady decline of infertility in African countries
Hmm.
because we're now getting more educated as women on how to protect ourselves from getting those unwanted pregnancies, both inside and outside of marriage. So being married doesn't mean you're now an incubator. You still have to plan yourself. You still have to space yourself for your own health and for your own sanity. And also for the well-being of the children as well, because there's really no need to bite more than you can chew. And then now you have to deplete the quality of the life of your children because you're just having you keep having them thinking that's your responsibility and that's your chore. If your financial benefactor walks out, what happens?
Hmm.
Yeah, what happens
Right.
to your children? Yeah.
Right.
So in North Africa, according to a news article I was seeing, the Republic of France posted an article stating that in North Africa, the birth rate has gone from on average 6 children per woman to 3. So that's a 50% slash in just 37 years. That's to tell you that there's a problem. Even if you don't want to agree, if there's a problem, it will show in the statistics. It will show. Because if they were happy, there's no reason to stop. But in sub-Saharan Africa, we still have a steady decline. But the major tenet of it is that while the marriage level has still not stagnated as much as it has in other parts of the world, the divorce rates have definitely gone up. Because also
Right.
the stigma behind being a widow or being a divorced woman is not as intense as it used to be, and women are feeling more confident about leaving situations that no longer suit them and or their children.
Right. Thank you so much for that information, Sin. I'm really deep insight in regards to the 4B movement. And I agree in all about like empowering the woman in regards to being financially independent. It's really important in regards to maybe your career and also what you're investing in. It's really important as a person if you have a vision as a woman in regards to do that. And also how I can really understand or how I understood the 4B movement, how I researched about it in South Korea. It was a lot of oppression. Women are really oppressed with maybe their husbands in regards to what you're saying. The men were like really dominant in regards to what they're saying, right? But also, I believe that I think we've lost Lately. I'm not sure about that. Okay, welcome back. Also, I believe that I think we should basically educate people in regard to what the phobia movement was, because the fact that I went deeper and it said that they were really looking for in regard to like in the future it's gonna be just a world full of women, and I was questioning like the importance, like what is the importance of men in the society because they really matter, and I feel also the boy child or as a male child as they're growing up, they really need to be empowered in regards to who they are, in regards to their benefit in the society, how to handle relationships, marriage. And I feel like with that, as you were saying earlier, in equality, but I can say like we all need each other. Um, men need women, women need men, and also we have basically have all our places in this world and also in marriage and relationships.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so definitely South Korea has always been a place where oppression was quite intense.
Yeah,
And the reason for this, and largely the pressure to be beautiful, the pressure to look a certain type of way. South Korea is the number one country, followed by Turkey, with plastic surgery. You have
yeah,
to, a lot of women have to go under the knife to be even deemed as attractive or worth of marriage. And so, yes, I understand that men play a good role, but a lot of it just has to do with the fact that we live in a patriarchal world. So they're going to look more important than they might be. Not to say that they're not, but for as long as you're dealing in a country where the men are the rulers of the world, they're the ones who are taking over the CEO positions, they're the ones who are taking over things that women can actually still do, if not better, in some certain sectors,
Right.
they're always
Right.
going to look they're always going to look important. And I think that's why we even have patriarchy. They had to fight for themselves at some point because most of the countries are matriarchal. But you see now we have that shift where we're dealing with patriarchies and we're dealing with capitalism. Capitalism and democracy have really taken over the world, but
Mm-hmm.
they prioritize men. So you'll find that women till today cannot break the glass ceiling. You can be working in a company for over 20 years, but because you're a woman, you're not going to have access to those CEO kind of positions. And so when we're looking at feminism as a whole, it has different school of thoughts that accommodate different types of thinking, even if it's
Right.
underneath the umbrella. And so it's up to you as the viewer to decide where exactly do you want to fall onto. Do you think capitalism is the issue? Do you think that women not having access to their body as much as they should is the issue? Do you think that gender equality is the issue? Is there a problem there? What should we do? So that's
Yeah.
why we have schools of thoughts, because not everybody is going to think the same way, and that's how
Mm.
this different schools of thoughts approached. Like for example, the the Marxist ideology rejects liberal and radical rejects socialist and liberal. So you have to find where you think makes sense for you. And yeah. But ideally, yes, the phobia
Yeah.
movement is a little, it's very intense, and I think we need it to happen because these kinds of ideologies they spur over internationally to other sides of the world, and that's just part of the
Right.
feminist movement. It started a long time ago, and I don't see it ending. So, but the major aspect of this movement, like I said, is let's stop fighting men. Let's just
Okay.
remove
You
them
fight
out.
men.
Like in terms
Lastly.
of,
And you fight men. Like,
I'm not saying
okay,
physically.
okay,
I'm
okay,
saying
okay.
instead of fighting
I'm
men and
so
saying you're the problem and all of that, instead of
okay. Just go on.
sorry,
Sorry.
sorry, maybe let me. Did I not understand your question?
No, it's
Mhm.
okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I was just saying, like,
Um,
when I say
First of
fight,
all,
men, I don't mean take a
when it's my turn,
spear
I'll
and
speak.
go to the fighting field. I mean, instead
Mm.
of constantly complaining about the inequality that
Would
comes with,
you would you would you be aware that the only reason you can talk here is because some men had to take spears to the fighting field?
are you aware that you're only here because your mother birthed you? So that's an
Yeah, okay.
invalid.
And are you aware? Are you aware that the reason that my mother birthed me is because my father created a protective society? I am not dismissing the effect of my mother. I understand how important my mother is in the society, and I'm not dismiss the importance of women. Dismissing the importance of men is nothing short of a neo-narcissistic view of men, which is usually spawned from personal experiences. But I wouldn't want to go into that. You started your conversation and you've hula hooped quite a lot of things. I do agree with a lot of things you said, and there are a lot of things which I don't agree with. But you started with the definition of feminism as an advocacy for women, your own words, women rights,
Yes,
right? Is it what it is? So if it's an advocacy of human rights, you further run around further to break it down into two parts: the liberal movement and the radical movement,
three
right?
parts, three.
Oh, I didn't get the third one. Was it?
Marxist.
Oh yeah, the Marxist is a whole different conversation because if you're bringing Marxism, you have to kind of indulge the capitalistic point of view because Marxism itself is a
I
whole
did.
way, it's a whole
I
way,
did.
it's a whole way society,
I
it's a
think
whole way
that's the
society
time
should be
maybe you
structured.
logged
It's
off.
not a yeah, it's no, I
I
heard it.
mentioned that.
I
Yes. Yes.
I heard
So
it.
Marxism,
I heard.
also known as the socialist movement, basically
Yeah,
just on
that's
capitalism
what
and economic
that's what I'm
disparity.
saying. We can reduce a Marxism, we can reduce the Marxism down to a view of equating it to a strain of feminism. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a whole bigger thing than that, and it's a whole different
I
conversation
mean, that's okay,
for a
and
real
you're
different
entitled
day.
to your own opinion, but just factually, even if you were to just Google the types of feminism, it's definitely going to come up, and maybe you can understand it better from there. Maybe I didn't explain it well, but it's definitely a
Okay,
tenet, a school of thought with feminism.
okay, I'll take it. I'll take it
And
as that. I'll
the
take.
reason is the Marxists basically say that capitalism has a lot to do with the gender equality that women are complaining about today, and that is why it's the
Exactly.
third school. Yeah.
Yeah,
So to
exactly.
remove it, I don't know.
The reason why I say we should move it is because if you look at it in its in depth, it's actually a whole well of structure in the community which does not affect women. It affects men in a certain kind of way. If you have to have a Marxist society, and we take away the whole capitalistic society we have, Marxism in itself will always fail for the reasons best known for the people who tried it out and found out the hard way. You can ask the Pol Pots. You can ask the Pol Pots in Cambodia, and in Cambodia, and they will tell you what happened. I personally visited Cambodia, and I've seen the effects of Marxism. It's not something you want to bring into the society, except you want to cherry pick the few things that work for it, which is not going to work in capitalism. But that's an argument for another day. You did state a lot of things which I did write down. One of the things you stated was the lack of willpower of men into marriage, and how men used Bible as a tool to kind of institute, if you may call it, slavery on women with it, and they never used any other part of the Bible. I'm just going over your arguments before I start
Yes, yes.
going through them. So if there's anything which I got wrong, then please do correct me.
Okay.
You also brought an argument against abortion, in how women should have the right to, in my terms, commit murder willingly.
Yeah.
Because if you can decide to make quite a few questions, I'll ask you, then I'll categorize as murder.
Okay.
Second of all, you said whatever we enjoy in the society, we don't really need men in the society, and the little things we did was for the little things we did. No, number one, we're streaming on StreamYard. This platform was built by men. Men have led forward innovation and a lot of things, and a lot of other societies, which I'm going to bring up during my prologue. In other societies where we have kind of equated the thing, we found out that men and women want different things. You
Mm-hmm.
should look that up. In Scandinavia, men and women want different things. There's nothing stopping you as a modern woman. Okay, tell me one way as a modern woman you're oppressed. One way. One thing you're oppressed about as a modern woman.
I want that if I don't want to have my child, Leslie is not going to tell me I'm committing murder. But you see, that
No,
can't
you
happen
are.
because
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so this goes back to an argument I know as a feminist you've heard it over and over again, and that argument
Okay.
is called the right to life, and the futile. When does an egg becomes life?
so if your
That's the
daughter was
argument.
raped, if your daughter was raped, you want her to keep it.
This is you diving. This is straw man argument. This is straw man
No,
fallacy.
no, no, no,
Let's
no.
go back.
If
Answer
you
my
have a
question.
5-year-old
My
daughter, or
question is,
let's say 10, because let's say 10 years old, and some guy beats her, rapes her, and she tells you, "Daddy, I don't want to keep this child."
that is the fallacy of special pleading. Your special pleading to pull to the emotional request for my argument. My argument is not
It
based on
doesn't
the
need to be
morality of it.
emotional. I want,
My
sometimes I
my
feel like
no,
sometimes
don't.
men, it's until I bring something that's important to you that you're going to
Why
see what I'm
wouldn't you
trying.
answer my question? My question is easy. When does a fetus become life? At what stage? It has nothing
So
to do with my daughter being raped.
according to science, initially it's a clump of cells.
When
Up
does it become
until
life?
the end of the first trimester, and that's why when you try to get rid of it at the end of the first trimester, it puts your life in
In
danger as a,
danger.
Okay,
but
okay,
initially
okay.
it's
Now,
just a clump of cells. Yeah.
okay, okay. Now we go back. Now we go back to that argument. So I will take your word for it that it only becomes life in the start of the second trimester. It is that okay? Hello, can people hear me?
Hello, Cynthia, are you there? I think we lost her, but maybe she's gonna come back. But you can basically just continue, Leslie, before she comes in.
Oh, yeah, I know my it'll be very hard to talk with her. I really hope she can pop back into the chat because I
Yeah,
need to
she
have a
will.
certain facts. Because when you say abortion, when you say men don't give the woman right to abortion, it's like saying, okay, when do we give the right to murder, right? So
Right.
where do you draw the
Right.
line? Where do you draw the line between a cell and a life? Is it a
Mm.
cell or a life? Okay, if you say it becomes life only after 3 months, which is the end of the first trimester. Okay, so do we legislate and say abortion is illegal after 3 months? Because then it's life, and then that constitutes to making murder.
Right.
Like, okay, should we say abortion is okay from 0 to 3 months? That's that's
It
that's
doesn't
another
make
part of the
sense.
argument. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another part of the argument. That's another part of the
Yeah.
argument. And if you say 3 months, how do we actually do calculate it? Because from the way we actually calculate conception, now we calculate from the first day of her last period. We can
Yeah.
actually tell when there was when they conceived. So what if you kill the baby when it's 3 months, 1 day? Does it constitute murder, or is it 2 months and 30 days? 2 months and 29 days.
It's still murder regardless.
Good. So this is the question. So we've gone back. So this question has plagued society a lot of times. There are lots of ways we don't get to that place. You call it rape.
Yeah.
Very, very understandable. I am one of those persons who don't stand for force when it comes to rape and whatever, and then you can decide what you want to
Okay.
do with the baby. But now we're talking
Okay.
about two people who consensually had sex,
Mm-hmm.
made a decision to have unprotected sex, had
Mhm.
72 hours after the protection of, after the knowing they did, had 72 hours of freedom. They were not kidnapped. Don't bring me kidnap cases. After 72 hours, you could take a plan B.
Right.
You choose to not take that plan B for 72
Mhm.
hours. You conceive the baby. You wait 1 month, you don't see your period. You wait 2 months, you don't see your period. The third month after not seeing your period, you decide to get rid of it. Like it's a mistake.
Right.
How does taking away that life constitute a mistake?
Hmm.
And most people don't even come to that position because of a mistake. If they may come to that conclusion because maybe the relationship didn't work out, or maybe it's a kind of revenge on the person wanting the baby and something and stuff. Many other reasons, even financial reasons. But when you were
Right.
taking that decision as an adult, I'm not talking about a minor that got pregnant. As an adult, when you took a decision to have unprotected sex, what were you thinking?
Right.
3 hours into it, what were you thinking to come and now and say, oh, I want an abortion? No, it was a mistake. I really didn't want it. Give me a legal basis which is right for people to commit murder. Because I call it murder. For me, I call it murder.
Right.
I call it murder. I call it murder. If it constitutes something in your life, murder means taking away life. Absolute definition of it, no other definition.
Yeah.
Hi,
You're
Sam.
welcome back.
Sorry about that.
I missed you.
I missed
I
you too,
missed you.
Leslie.
Thank God you're back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so just so you know, I will argue for the points I do believe in, and I'm not arguing you as a person, just so I make my
Yeah.
point arguments clear. It's
Oh,
my
no,
first
no,
time
no,
having
no.
yeah, so take my thing. I like having intellectual discussions, not discussions that
Yeah.
are pulled to people and
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to what I did when you were away. So
Yeah.
you brought up the case of rape. It's called an extreme. We don't make societal laws based on extremes. That you should know. Societal laws are not built based on extremes, but we make laws on the general, right? So just because someone has 6 fingers, we don't now go and write in the biology books that humans can have 6 fingers. No, people can have 5 fingers, right? So rape in itself is a different conversation. It's a very different conversation. It's a different conversation in terms of abortion. Most abortion is not from rape.
So at that point, murder is okay, right?
Come again?
In the
At
case
that
of
point,
rape, murder is okay. In the
yeah,
case of
because
rape.
first of all, she made no consensual decision to have that baby. I do stand in that consideration. This for me, I stand for abortion in the cases that are justified. Where I don't find it justifiable is that I, an adult, lastly, and you, an adult, Cynthia, decide to consensually have unprotected sex. After unprotected sex, waited 72 hours of taking the plan B, didn't take the plan B. Let it happen. 1 month gone, you didn't see your period. 2 months, you don't see your period. 3 months, you don't see your period. And then you wake up and show up in the hospital and say, I want to take care of this baby. It's a mistake. Where in the whole world 90 days plus has it been a mistake? How
Oh,
can
do you
you make
realize
a mistake?
Plan B is not 100% effective, and you can still take it and still get
A lot of
pregnant?
plan Bs are 90%. A lot of plan Bs are 90% and 90%
Yes,
effective.
but there's still the
90% plus.
10% chance.
I
There's
just said
still a
90%. 90. Yeah, so the effectiveness of plan B decreases as
So
time
being
passes
a
from
woman,
the
being a pregnant woman does not mean that she did not take her plan B. She did not take the necessary precautions. Anything
you
can
have gone
happen.
to
Some men
extremities
can just
again.
some men can just
Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
work.
they can, yeah, they can just put
Most
some
plan
holes
Bs,
in the
most
condom
over the
because they want
counter
to keep
plan
the lesson.
Bs.
Work. I
So you
definitely
see,
agree. But
so you
sometimes
see,
it doesn't work.
yeah.
Okay,
So
let's
the
not
problem is,
look.
okay.
I'm
Please
not
go
gonna tell
ahead. Go
you.
ahead.
I'm not gonna tell you how to run your body, but I want the thing I'm trying to the thing I'm trying to tell you is that
Mm.
you have a very big account, you have a very big part to play in getting pregnant.
Right.
Rape aside.
So
Rape aside.
I feel like if
As an
women
adult,
should be forced to keep that child, then that man should be forced to take care of it. This thing where you can
in what
just run away.
society are men not forced? You know, the thing about this new age of feminism doesn't make me understand a lot of things. Look. Let's rewind it. In what society are men not forced to be fathers? Like, a woman has the right to keep the
The
baby
one,
if she wants
the
to,
one where
but
we
a man
have
does not have the right. A man
left
does not
and
have
right.
the right to deny the baby. You have the right to take me to a child support court, to any country that social insurance is available. And I
And
even
how
have to
many
pay without a
African
DNA
countries?
test.
How many African countries? You're talking about the U.S. I want us to talk about Africa. How many
No.
African
And,
countries take this child support issue seriously? Because I
a
can
lot,
tell
a
you,
lot of, a lot of African countries do it.
10 women that I know right now where the guy just up and left. There are no
Yeah,
consequences.
okay.
Utamtoa
That
Okay.
wapi?
Now,
Who are going to get him?
okay. So the first thing is, women choose who they want to have babies for.
Yeah, that's true.
Not always. So
Rape aside.
please rephrase your sentence.
No, I wouldn't.
Some,
Women, you
some,
chose. Did you
some,
choose? Did you
some,
did you choose to
some
sleep with
women.
him or not?
Some women.
So no, I'm
And
not saying
also,
rape. Like,
no. I listen also, because if I can't prove that I was raped, and nobody's going to take that seriously. If I don't have
please don't get
if
into a rape
I
argument.
cannot
It's another
prove it, if I
argument.
can't prove, because let's say
Okay. For the
I'm not
sake
a
of the argument, for the sake of the argument, can we keep rape aside and have consensual sex, which is, I will assume, if the society is not anarchist, is 90% plus of pregnancies.
thank you. That is what I wanted you to say. Don't say
Okay. So can we
women or
say,
some women and explain which.
I said rape aside. I followed my prefix, my suffix to that argument was rape aside.
Mm-hmm.
You chose. It doesn't matter if you met him in the club and whatever. You chose. You knew this man.
Okay.
You could tell. You could tell if this man was responsible. Now we get all the arguments of Sijui, and you
No,
changed
you
when I
can't
got
tell.
pregnant.
You can't tell. You can't tell. I'm
Number
sorry,
one.
but you can't.
Number one. Look. Accountability. Same thing I tell my junior sisters. If you're gonna get pregnant for a guy, know you're fully responsible for it.
And
If
I'm
he
okay with
leaves, it was
that.
your
But
business.
I also want
Yeah.
that man to be responsible and accountable as well. I'm just saying,
And what?
when a woman gets pregnant and it's past the point where you can actually remove it, you have no choice but to take care of that child for X amount of
Yeah.
years. But
Yeah.
I don't really see men getting reprimanded for lacking that same accountability and pretending like that child doesn't exist.
What I can say
I
is that if two adults consensually agree to have like a baby, they should both take care of the baby.
We should both take care of the baby.
Yeah, if they
Because
agree to have
if a woman is being told by the state, you're
Okay,
not
but
going to
do you know where this
consent,
argument gets into a
and
slippery
they should
slope?
also tell the man,
right.
you're not going to leave this woman and her child because you also consented, you're also accountable.
Okay.
There should be no
Okay,
room
so
for him to just disappear and let you handle that.
okay,
Sometimes
true.
they can
Okay,
even
let's get back.
be in your neighborhood. They can even be in your
Okay, let's get
neighborhood and
back.
you see them every day. But there's
Let's
no
get
way you're going to take that man and force him to pay any amount of money, especially in
let's get
African
back.
countries. That's why we
No,
have that single issue.
I have been in the position when I was young. I did go through that process. I was actually like 17 or 18, and I was actually brought to the law in the process, and I don't know about Kenya, I'm from Cameroon, but it does happen. There are social welfares to which you can report the guy, and a lot of things will be done. But that's a different argument. Do women choose to take that route? It's a whole different argument. I'm going to come back to our initial argument. Okay, now I've established two adults can decide to have a baby, right? And if they do, they should take care. And then if the man is not responsible, the woman can take care. Okay, now what if the man doesn't want a baby and you're pregnant? What do we do in that situation?
He accounted, right? He
No,
consented.
we don't want to have a baby. No, yeah, no.
He consented to enter. He should know that there are going to be consequences.
So,
He
but you
knew.
two consented to receive, and then now you're not ready to. You are reserving the right to exit the equation. You are reserving the right to exit the equation as a woman, but
I'm
the
saying
man does not have the right to exit the equation.
I'm saying if I'm being forced to keep a child I don't want, he must be forced to take care of a child he also doesn't want. Let us
Okay,
both
me, I
suffer.
want a baby. I want to keep a baby, but you
No,
don't want the baby. What do we do?
you're the man.
Yeah, I want to keep a baby, and you don't want
Mhm.
the baby. What do we do in that situation?
In that situation, I'm so sorry because
Yeah.
it's my body and my life is at risk, even just
Oh,
having
so
that
now
child.
it's your body. So all of a sudden, it's your body. It's your body, your choice when it comes to your own conversation. But when it comes to forcing me to be your daddy, you don't put me into consideration in that equation. I'm not way
I'm
to be factored
saying,
in that equation. It's just if you want to
don't
keep the baby, I must be responsible. But if I don't want, like my wallet cannot leave the equation, but your body can leave the equation.
because women die, Leslie. There's so many complications. I
No,
almost lost
this is
my
you've
life.
gone.
So I'm
Don't
not
go
going to
back
risk
to
my life
fallacy of
because
emotions.
I'm not
So
going
this
to
is it.
risk
So you have
my
the
life.
right to leave the equation. You are leaving the equation, but I cannot leave the equation with my wallet.
Because
My wallet cannot leave the equation, but your body can leave the equation.
show me the scar you got from pregnancy. You can't have it. My life is at risk, not
Yes.
yours. So
Okay.
at that point,
So
at
so you
that
read.
point, my decision holds more weight because my life
Okay.
is potentially at risk.
Okay. So now I'm
Number
gonna
two,
give you a lot of cases which happen.
number two, number
Yeah.
two. Not only is my life at risk, but I have to put into consideration that my career has to stall. There's so many things that hinder me as a woman from becoming a mother, whereas not so much for you. You can just move
Okay.
on.
Good.
Yeah.
And then that's why if you notice, if this is something about accountability that modern women run away from, you have 4 layers of protection. Four. I will start. The first one, saying no to unprotected sex. You didn't.
You
You
also
did not.
didn't. You also did
You
not.
wait. I have taken accountability, but you don't want to take accountability. All of a sudden, it's
Told
like you
you.
act like you don't have a part to play in it. Did you play a part in it or not?
Okay. I've just told you
Yeah.
the only reason why my decision in the scenario you just gave will hold more weight is because my life is at risk, not yours. You know what I mean? Do you know how
Your
many
life is at
women?
risk. I take it, but I have 18 years of unpaid labor going to you and your supposed new boyfriend for the next 18 years of my life on child support, considering I'm that responsible enough. You don't consider that risk enough. That I have to work every month and send you money for the next 18 years of my life.
There's
18
never
times
a
12.
day. There's never a day your money is going to compare to my life. This is my
There is
life,
never
Leslie.
I
You're the one
do
who's
I
talking
do
about,
have
oh, murder, murder, murder. You see, you don't even care about women getting
this is
killed
the
in the
this is the
maternity
thing.
ward.
Stop
I'm going to
going
read.
into emotion.
I'm going to read some
Stop going
comments
into
here. We
emotions.
have Jiba Java. Thank you so much for joining us. We have Black Hot Network. Thank you so much for joining us. Black Hot Friend Network says, I want you guys to see this and understand this is why Africa is dominated by other races because they don't have critical thinking skills. They've both been brought up in false narrative. And then Jeeper says, every abortion strips the lining from the womb and makes pregnancy less possible each time. And he also said it's life when the sperm breaks the cell membrane. Like if the sperm breaks the cell membrane, it's life.
It's life.
And
So it's murder.
Jiba says I'm not a fan of abortion. And also he says wear a rubber or cross your legs. Pregnancy prevented. Big Cheese, he's also here. Thank you. Big Cheese says white women are telling women to join the 4B movement against their men. Meanwhile, the white woman is going home to her man every day. Black women wake up. Jibber says aborted black babies fetch a premium price on the organ market. Gloria Steinem, the U.S. mother of feminism, was a CIA agent used to destroy the black family. And also, Jiba says Plan B has long-lasting negative side effects, um, physical and mental. And also,
Okay.
in regards to if it's a consensual sex, Jiba says don't lay with a bum. In regards to what Sinam was saying, okay. He
Good.
also says that
You choose a bum.
accountability is the modern woman's kryptonite, something like that. And then he also says, Jiba, come to America. There's an entire court system system that jails or financially ruins the father. This guest,
So
in regards to what the my choice.
Oh, so
Okay, he
Tom,
doesn't agree with my choice
before you
in
continue, I just want to
regards
respond a little bit because there's just so much
to
going on.
if you want to have
Um, can you hear me?
abortion.
Can you hear me?
Now I
Is
can.
it my network? Okay. So just to respond to Jiba's comment, um, is my network on?
Yeah.
Am I okay? Okay. Just to respond to Jiba's comment, he's like, come to America. And that's the first thing I said. I said, we're not talking about America now. We're talking about Africa. And I said, in America, definitely we have child support payment systems. But in Africa, it's so difficult to run that through and see through that you actually get what you need. And while the system is there, it doesn't always work. So the first thing I said is the child support is an ideology that works in the Western world, but when it comes to Africa, it's not as stable as it needs to be. Is the system there? Yes. Does it work? No. No, it doesn't.
okay, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
What if I told you that the only reason we have to go back to child support is because we abandon our Africanness?
What do you mean by that?
What if I told you that feminism is the reason why we have to go back? What if I told you that the whole reason we have to go back to child support and everything in Africa is because we abandon our Africanness? What if I told you that the feminism?
I don't think Africans are to blame for abandoning Africanness. I think it's a result of globalization. At some point, cultures are going to diffuse, and some things are going to work for other people where it might not work for others.
Tell the Chinese that. Tell the Russians that.
I don't need to tell them anything. And you see, at the beginning of your response, you were saying, how can women fight men? These are the kind of conversations we're just kind of tired of having. Instead of going back and forth, we
keep going back and forth on simple things. Number one, don't have a baby if you're not married. If he has not put a ring on you and gone to your father, don't have a baby with him.
He can still leave you. Anyway.
No, in any tradition that a man is married to you, if he's married to you legally, he will never leave the baby. The court will bring him to court. You're arguing about bringing bombs to child support. People you consensually had sex with had a baby without marriage. So the only reason why we are in this convention is because we have normalized having babies without marriage.
Sawa, let's do this, yeah? According to the 4B movement, I will close my legs and you zip up your pants and nobody has to fight.
No problem, and I'm very okay with that. If a man marries you, tells you can protect and provide and protect.
Jabba said, wear rubber, close your legs, and so now he's just talking about the woman's point of view to protect pregnancy. He never.
This is the thing. When goods become flooded in the market, the price drops down.
Yes, he never
because the goods are flooded. There are women everywhere. So if women were more reserved and conservative, women control the sexual market. Don't tell us to close. If you close your legs, we'll put our lives in order. True, I'm not arguing with it. But at the same time, you find opening your legs as empowerment.
Either that, or you're just gonna rape us again. So let me tell you something, yeah.
When have you look at this Jesus Christ of Nazareth?
Yeah, because it makes you uncomfortable.
No. This is it doesn't make me uncomfortable. The whole notion of calling all men rapists it's nothing.
I can see it in your face. It makes you very uncomfortable.
No, it does because
stop being emotional.
No,
what Jiba said is correct, but I wish Jiba also said, women use rubbers, close your legs.
Right.
Men use rubbers or zip your pants. Why is he only just saying women?
Right.
Because women control the sexual market. Whether you like it or not, in every society, women control the social market. You control the sexual market.
I'm happy we're having this conversation because that is the epitome of the 4B movement. To close our legs and to use us. So why is it a problem?
Okay, so it's not a problem. No one has said it's a problem, other than the fact that we're gonna get extinct and the fact that you don't bring more men into society, the society is gonna crumble. If you don't give birth to baby boys, I'm sorry, society is gonna crumble. whether you like it or not. Men build the society to where it is. So the earlier you start thinking about fixing the problem, other than going drastic
Why are
with
you
the 4B
saying
movement and
men
saying,
built the society for where it is? Why are you saying that?
tell me something, tell me, look outside the window and tell me what was not built by men.
Were you here when my house was being built? You see, that's the problem.
What is the
And
construction industry? Where do you live in Kenya? I want to put up the construction industry statistics. You want to tell me how
so
many
here's
male
the
and
thing.
female are in the
Here's
construction
the thing.
industry?
And maybe you didn't know this, but there's a lot of work that goes behind closed doors. And that's why
Who
women
built the
can't break the glass
society you
ceiling.
live in?
So just because the CEO is not a woman does not mean that company was built by the CEO. There are people who work behind the
No,
scene.
we have not said
Because
women don't work. We're saying who built the pillars. This society you're sitting in today, this one you're sitting in, this phone you're using, this internet you're using,
it
this
doesn't mean
Julia you're streaming on.
it doesn't mean that because it was built by you, you are the only ones who could have done it. It means that
No,
while you were
I'm not
busy
saying
with that, we were busy.
I'm not saying we are the only ones who could have done it, but we are better equipped to do it.
But given the
In terms
opportunity,
of our physical strength, in terms of our physical strength, our mental resilience, and the way we think and innovate, it's very, very different. And if you want to look at going to Scandinavia, you can look this after the argument, after the discussion, excuse me, going to Scandinavia where they said, okay, everybody is equality. What happened? More women drifted into fields that were not STEM related.
I'm curious, why
STEM.
did you correct yourself when you said argument? Because it is an argument, only that it's a critical one. It's one that is
No, I like to say discussion, because I think an argument is a part where it's yakety yak yak, don't talk back. And I don't take part into market. I don't take part into market arguments. That's why I had to say conversation, because a conversation is bi-level.
Argument means that whatever we're speaking about, we have opposing sides. So it doesn't mean that you're right and I'm wrong, or I'm wrong and you're right.
But we really don't have opposing sides. There are lots of things you and I agree with.
I believe
there are lots of things.
Like the 4B movement, what it entails in South Korea, it's really different, because they're basically in regards to what Sinam has basically expounded it. She believes in equality, right, Sinam?
Yes, actually, if I was to pick from one of the three groups of schools, I think I'm very anti-capitalism. So the Marxist theory is where I fall under. The other two are not bad, but the Marxist theory in part, and the radical movement as well, mainly because of the bodily autonomy that I feel like is being controlled beyond our own control.
In regards to rearing children?
In regards to not having concerning our bodily autonomy, and that goes through every aspect. I feel like for as long as we can't find common ground, there's really no reason for us to get married, for us to keep having kids and just being miserable. So it can come eventually, but I feel like first there's so many things we need to address.
Okay,
I
so
feel
according
like
to
we should have more like men empowerment, because I believe like in regards to men and women, like we have men who are like they don't know who they are, also women who don't know who they are, and women who understand who they are, their position in the society, and also men who understand their position in the society. And I feel like if the way we have more women empowerment, if we have like an empower the boy child or the male in regards to who they are, because I believe if and every woman has had an experience of heartbreak or experiences in regards to maybe abuse, mistreatment, the same way with men, right? But I feel like we should not let one experience or two really define.
Hold on, Eriton. I hate to come in and bust the bubbles. This is the problem, fam. There's a lot of ignorance in Africa. This young lady's actually really intelligent, but she doesn't understand that same people that created capitalism created communism. She thinks there's a different side of the coin. It's not. To cause confusion within the society. I would beg her to go back and understand, go back and look where communism came from. See, this is how they control the world, family, through narratives that the African does not understand. Same people that created communism created capitalism. It's called the Hegelian dialectic. And they think they're doing an opposing narrative towards another system when they're not. It actually causes chaos within your society to bring it down and pit whatever society against the other society. It really causes confusion because they think they're actually different narratives, different forms of systems when they're not. They're created by the individuals that want to that actually run this planet. It's easy to
Right.
go back. So when she's talking about communism and Marx, please, young lady, you seem to be pretty intelligent. Go look and understand where communism started from. Same people that control capitalism controlled communism. They created it. Socialism and communism created by the same people that created capitalism. You think they are opposing narratives when they're not. This
So,
how they control the world. It's funny. And the
so
Africans have go ahead.
yeah, thank you so much for joining in. I think your first statement kind of put me off. The first thing you said is Africans are very ignorant, and I
They
think
are. They are
I
ignorant. I've
think
been all throughout Africa. They are. They are.
I
Why
think
do you think? Why do you think Africa? I'm African. I'm gonna be honest. Why do you think we're dominated? If we weren't ignorant, we wouldn't be dominated. See, now we got to deal with
that's
facts.
the
We
thing.
can't deal in. We can't deal in. We can't,
I feel
as the
like
gentleman said,
I feel
we
like
can't deal in fairy
we're
tales.
all
We can't deal in
ignorant.
fairy tales. Go
We're
ahead.
all ignorant in our own ways, and so I feel like
No,
every human being
no,
is
no,
ignorant.
no, no. See, no, everything is not ignorant. See, we can't deal in fairy tales. Okay, as people, we can't either we're dominated as a people or we're not. See, we can't deal in fairy tales. The Chinese, the Russians, and the Europeans and Americans wouldn't be running all over Africa if we were not dominated. Africans
So
wouldn't be in
True.
poverty sitting on.
moving,
Let me finish. Let me finish. Africans would not be sitting in poverty, sitting on the
If they're not
richest continent
ignorant.
on the planet if we were not ignorant. These are
True.
either facts or they're not. But go ahead.
You hate it, I love it. True.
I think it's either a matter of ignorance or it just means that we're the lesser evil. We're not willing to do what they did
No,
to
no, no,
us.
no, no. We are ignorant.
No, no, no,
We are
They
no,
are getting
ignorant.
too
We
no.
are.
bigger.
Now,
We are.
I
We
will
They're
are.
getting
We
now.
too
are.
I think
intelligent.
What
They
kind
pressure.
what piece of ignorance, like what can you define ignorance on that? I will give you gold in exchange that you kill my brother. You let me kill my, like how do you even define, like I used to argue with this
I
narrative, but Keith, I'm
I
very drawn
think
to accusative Africans, like in Africans, like okay, what is the best way to hide information from an African? Put it in a book.
Yeah, that is true.
so. Here's the thing.
Even the intellectual Africans, how many books do you
I,
read? How many
There's
book clubs are there in Nairobi?
there's
I,
never a day in my
I'm
life
not calling her.
I will
I'm not
spend
calling her
any
ignorant because I think
day.
this young lady.
Every
I think
single
this
day in
lady.
my life.
I think this young lady is
Never.
highly intelligent, but she's conflating her intellect with the rest of Africa, and you're
That's
getting
what I'm saying. I'm not
offended.
saying you are.
Exactly. She's conflating her intelligence with the rest of Africa. So you got to take out of the narrative. I'm talking about you personally. I'm talking about Africa as a whole,
I'm
not
not
you.
taking it
Good.
personally. I'm saying that the only reason they became the superior race is because they were willing to get into the kind of evil we couldn't
Of
get
course.
into.
That that
What
that
kind of
that
evil? Wait, excuse me. Wait a minute.
that
Wait a minute.
Now she's
Wait a
actually
minute. Wait a
true.
minute.
Okay,
What kind of evil?
part of that is true. Part of that what she's saying. See, it's not 100% right, but you got calm down. What she's saying is actually true. I'm glad she understands that the evil. Yes, we talk about the evil of mind control. Like okay, you've adopted all their religions. They came brutalize you with all their religions. So explain to me
And you took it.
what? Yeah, exactly. I'm saying exactly. You got Africans today that will fight you tooth and nail over this fake Jesus, this fake Allah, and they don't know
They
that
don't talk to
that was
you.
exactly that was forced on them, and it's easily proven that it's fake. Now I go to Kenya, I go to Nigeria, and I'll easily show them, hey, this is fake. It's phony. It was given to you by your colonizers, and they will fight me tooth and nail to keep the lie. They will fight
That's
me.
the truth.
So I know,
Like
I know. They would kill me. They would kill me to keep that lie going. I say, listen,
So
brother and sister. Go ahead.
sometimes when you have nothing, you just better hold on to that hope.
who
That's
has
true.
nothing? We
That's
have gold. We
that's
have diamonds. What do you mean we have
that's
nothing? What
that's
do you
true
mean we
too.
have nothing?
What
The
is
That's
ignorance
important?
true.
is that we think we have nothing because we
That's
have
true.
everything. They have
That's
told
true.
us, you
That's
take this
right.
picture,
It's in
put it in
heaven.
your
It's in
house,
heaven.
pray to this picture, but the gold behind your house, give me for free. I bring you more pictures of Jesus you put on your wall, and
That's
you tell me you're
true.
not ignorant.
That's
What do you mean
true.
that we
That's
don't know
true.
we have something?
No, I
But
so here's the thing. Um, like I said, I feel like every race is ignorant to something. But to say Africans are very ignorant, and then to say
You are
that,
very,
and then to say
So
that,
when you say, okay,
we're
you
not the
are
superior
very
race,
ignorant.
no,
we are
we're
very,
not the
so very,
superior race.
very,
But
very in itself is a relative word.
you saying we don't know our true power is you admitting that you don't know your true power. We know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not,
do. I don't.
no,
It's
That's
true.
when you have systems.
they don't know that you.
It
He just
is.
told you.
It is.
He just told you got a picture of a fake white man that you put on the wall, which is true, and you
And
give the white
you
man the
donate
gold.
gold and diamond for it
That's
in
true.
exchange for a
And
white man's picture. Like,
either that's real or it's not. What he's saying is actually real, right? Wouldn't you agree that's real? Throughout Africa, wouldn't you agree?
Okay, so the thing is, when it comes to religion, I think
No. You don't get the bell out of the answer.
look,
Is it
Africans.
true or not?
no, it could be that he's there. It could be that he's not.
How many churches?
Exactly.
How many churches are in your
Which-
area, and how many factories are in your area?
See, the same way
Exactly.
you're confident, the same way you're confident.
How
he
many
doesn't-
churches are in your area,
the same way the
and how
people
many
are
schools are
confident.
there?
Here's the thing. I understand that it's been turned into a business.
Yeah, that is true.
It
Business or
always
no
was a business.
business, the African man believes
It didn't turn into a business. It always was a business. It didn't turn into a business.
Sometimes it's okay to know that you don't know. You don't have to know
Okay,
anything.
that's true.
That is there. But I also
But
don't know
look,
if it's there.
okay, but if I don't know, then that's a form of ignorance. You just described
Don't know
ignorance.
it is a definition of ignorance.
Ignorance means I don't know.
No, that's a definition of ignorance.
You just explained that.
Ignorance can be defined as a lack of knowledge. But
Good, exactly. So are we or are we not?
people know that they don't
We
know
are
everything.
not. We are people with potential, but we are not intelligent. We are people with potential, but we are not intelligent.
We are
We are people with potential.
We're intelligent. And don't you ever speak about my African brothers and sisters like that.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
This is the thing.
See,
Kate, can I speak? Kate, can I speak?
Yes. Go ahead.
Can I speak? Can I speak?
Yes, sir.
Look. Dear Africans, I hope someone records this. Dear Africans, it's time for us to pick up accountability. Please.
Exactly.
When someone calls you out of your BS, they don't hate you. Are we ignorant? Yes, we are. We are. Hate it or love it, we are. Is there a pathway forward? Yes, there is a pathway, but at this place now, we are ignorant. And you can there go keep arguing the messenger instead of taking in the message. That's what we do. We have been trained to think people hate us because they call us out on our BS. We are ignorant. And even the white man used to be ignorant before. They did. They had gonorrhea and it killed them. Syphilis killed them. What did they do? They didn't go and pray. They went to the lab and they looked for solutions. They came out with a medication that saved their life. They had the black widow dead in Europe, which was rats killing them. They looked for a solution and they left. But what happens to us when we have a problem? We go back to pray to the white man's God and we say we are not ignorant.
Because you're busy
And then
telling
when
them
you say
they're
you're
not
hating when you're not.
You're busy telling them they're not intelligent. At some point, they might start to believe you.
Intelligence? No.
Ignorance has nothing to do with intelligence. I think you're intelligent.
No,
That's nothing to do with ignorance.
we are not saying we are dumb. We are not dumb. We are ignorant. Ignorance is a lack of knowledge.
I'm not saying you're not intelligent. I said there's a difference between intelligence and ignorance, sister.
Okay, let's define it. Intelligence.
Good.
Intelligence is a potential of capturing knowledge.
You understand? The information we have it. We're very educated, especially Kenya. I'm not so sure about.
We are not educated. No, Africans are not educated.
Listen. I've been to
Africans are not educated.
Okay. Pause. Irritant. Wait. I want to show you something. Listen, Kenya. Wait. I want Irritant, share your screen, please. I want you to type this up. I want you to look at this. And this was Kenya. This is Kenya a few years ago. I want you to go to YouTube. I want you to type this up. I want you to type white Jesus in the streets of Kenya. And I'm going to tell you, this is a homeless man. This is a homeless man that they got from Florida. He's a homeless white man that they brought to Kenya, and these adults will run around saying he's the Lord, he's God. This is Kenya. Okay? I want to say, white man in Kenya pretends to be Jesus or runs around as Jesus. Now, they had to kick him out of the country because this was so embarrassing, but they know they dumbed down their own people. They had a white man running around, and grown Africans in Kenya were like, oh, he's the Lord. This was a homeless man that they got from America, a homeless white man, right? But since he had white hair, blonde hair and blue eyes and the fake nair, that fake image, he had grown people in Kenya running around and screaming, holler. You're like, what? But this,
we have our best, we have our best professors. We have our best professors calling for Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. This went viral. They were so embarrassed they had to get out because he got grown. This is the ignorance. This went viral. Since it was embarrassing to Kenya, they deported his ass. But this went viral. They're like, what the hell is going on in Africa? This is Kenya. But it would happen to any African. Wait. This would happen to any. I'm trying to tell you, the ignorance is real. This happened to any African country. Don't think.
No problem.
Don't think.
The way you give an example of an ignorant situation in Kenya, can you please give me an example of ignorant rednecks as well? I'm saying ignorance is everywhere. Don't say Africans.
This is the problem. This is the problem with Africa.
I'm dumb. Exactly what I think.
This argument. Africans. Okay, what percentage?
I want to hear those embarrassing stories from other parts of the world as well. Don't just narrow it
down. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the embarrassing parts.
Where do you want to hear from?
Huh? You can't find it? Can you find it?
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say?
Share your screen.
Wait, excuse me. Who do you want to hear these stories from? People are telling the stories and you're listening. Okay, tell your stories to yourself. The rednecks, what percentage do they form? And what percentage do ignorant people form in Africa? Be honest. Ade, be honest.
I just said, don't say Africans are ignorant. Say everybody is ignorant to some extent.
How's everybody ignorant? How's everybody ignorant?
By your definition.
How we dominated then? How Africans dominated then? The whole continent. I'm talking about black Africa. Not the Arabs who invaded and they controlled northern Africa. Black Africa. Why is Africa impoverished and it's the wealthiest part of the world? Okay, explain this to me.
And they're the poorest. Africans are poor. Are you going to argue that too?
Oppressive systems, of course.
Who put in the systems in, sister?
Africans.
Where do systems come from?
I believe from the Western world.
Of course.
But Africans always outsourcing their problems to the white man. The white man is gone. Sit here, let's fix this. It's not the white man who told you to go close your shop for 3 days because you're fasting for prayers. It's not the white man who said that. The white man did not force you to do that.
It's true. But let me tell you something. If you ever try to go into politics with a pure heart, you're not going to make it.
You can't. Of course not, because the system is down. That's true. The system has. Now, she's right. Now, it's a little bit of both. What she said. She's intelligent.
That wants to help. We have people that want to bring us out of that.
She's true. She's telling the truth.
But if you try and do it, they'll come for you.
They come for you. That's true.
What you're saying is the truth.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Don't say we're ignorant. Just say that we've yet to figure out how to.
No. Stop sugarcoating it. Are we ignorant or not?
The whole world is ignorant.
No. Relatively. When is the last time?
Name a group of people that worship a whole nother group of people. Where you got a group of people that worship another group of people that don't even look like them? Where's that at?
It's first of all, it's you and Leslie, because you're the ones busy telling me we're not intelligent. That the white man.
I haven't said Africans are not intelligent. I haven't said Africans are not intelligent. I said Africans are ignorant.
I just said that you're.
Africans are ignorant.
Yeah, we said we're ignorant.
Like you said.
No, we said they are ignorant.
Exactly. We never said they weren't intelligent.
This is being recorded. We're going to rewind.
Yes, we're going to rewind. Yes, we're going to rewind.
Yes.
I just said you're intelligent. I just said you're intelligent. You just may be ignorant on certain things. I just said you're intelligent. What are you saying? I said Africans are intelligent. They're ignorant right now. And I agree with you about the system. You're correct. And the Europeans did put those systems in place to make sure we stayed on the bottom. I agree with you with that. I agree with that.
That is
But
true.
you were, and I told you were ignorant. You think that communism and capitalism are different economic systems when they are not. They're created by the same individuals.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify to you. We're talking about Marxist feminism, not just Marxism
Okay,
alone.
can I just say something about Marxist feminism while we are it? Can we say something? Can I say something?
Sister, I love you. I'm gonna say, you know how crazy you sound saying you're a Marxist feminist. You know how crazy you sound. You know how crazy you sound saying that you're a Marxist feminist.
Keith, give me a second.
Allow her to expound what she means.
Can I have a second to expand on that?
Can she finish first, Leslie? Can she finish first?
Can I?
You can have a whole system that doesn't make sense to you, but there's a tenet of that system that might actually work in that regard. I have never liked capitalism, but it doesn't mean that Marxism is better.
You call yourself a Marxist feminist, sister, means you're indoctrinated with other nonsense. But go ahead.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Go ahead, I'm done. I'm done.
I believe in equality.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Can I say something?
When you look at the three schools of feminism, she's talking about liberal feminism, which is
where did feminism come? I'm glad on the show. Where did feminism come from, young lady? Where did it come from? I'm gonna give you the floor. No. I promise. I'm gonna give you the floor. I promise. Let me just say that I'm gonna give you the floor. I promise. No, it did not come from Europe. Okay, now let me tell you where feminism came from. Wait, let me finish. No, it did not. No, it did not. Let me finish. Okay, you got think tanks in America that were created by the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. You got foundations that the families that actually run the planet, Rothschilds, Rockefellers. It came from the Rockefeller Foundation that wanted to destroy the family. It was first put into America, destroyed the African American family. They're going to take it around the world. Pull this up, Eriton, say, did the Rockefeller Foundation create feminism? Now, they're going to try to hide all this now because Africans are starting to, like you said, be intelligent and actually go look things down. Didn't come from no France. It's not an organic movement, young lady. These are actual intelligent agencies creating systems to destroy people. They're not organic. You think all the French is laissez-faire. It's laissez-faire, the French and the people, and it's the power of the woman. No, it's not. Not to give you any power. It's to destroy you. That's what it was created to do. So that's why I said you're very intelligent. You're just ignorant on certain things. Means you just don't know it.
I agree. And that's why I was telling you that.
I never said you wasn't intelligent. I said you're very intelligent. Go there, Connery.
You've said that like 10 times.
Can I?
For that.
No.
Did you find it,
ignorant.
Did you find it? Did you find it?
Rockefeller Foundation controls?
Right. Go ahead. Yes. Rockefeller Foundation control and created feminism. She believes it came from some mythical nonsense of laissez-faire French nonsense. That's a lie. These are intelligence agents making systems to destroy the black women and control them. That's what it is.
That's okay. So for me, my information is coming from peer-reviewed articles. I'd like to see where yours comes from as well.
Peer-reviewed articles.
I'm not saying you're lying.
You don't understand CIA. You don't understand CIA doctrine. Good God. Peer review means nothing. Listen, peer review articles mean nothing. The CIA controls the academics that you think are peer reviewed. You don't understand intelligence agents like the MI6, Mossad, and the CIA who actually run the planet. This is a peer review article. What?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying
asking a question.
I'm done. You got it. I'm done. You got it.
No, that's okay. I'm just saying, like,
Cynthia, can I ask you a question?
For future reference, it's really nice to kind of be like, this is information I have, and this is where I got it from. That's
okay.
Now
I want to bring up information. This information comes from simplypsychology.org. which is basically defining what Marxist feminism is. You made me look it up. Marxist feminists claim that there is a division of labor between men and women. Men are assigned to economic production, whereas women have been assigned to the reproduction of the workforce. Is that what you subscribe to? Because that's a definition.
Again? Sorry?
Marxist feminists claim that there is a division of labor between men and women.
Yes.
Men are assigned economic production, whereas women have been assigned reproduction of the workforce. Is that it?
They have been assigned, but should not be assigned.
Well, they have been assigned reproduction. That's a Marxist view. That men are assigned to the reproduction, and then women are assigned to the production. That's a feminist view.
Reproduction, which is unpaid labor, and that's what they're saying.
Wait. By Marxism, you said you're a Marxist feminist. You said you're a Marxist feminist, and I'm bringing the textbook definition. I'm bringing the textbook definition of Marxist.
The definition.
Expand that again, lastly.
They're trying to explain.
I'm bringing you define it.
But not what they're supporting. That's how they see it. That's why they don't want capitalism.
So you define it, because we're arguing over the fairy. We're over a fairy tale. What is it?
Their labor.
What labor is it?
What do you mean?
What labor are you talking about?
Unpaid labor, reproductive. Did you pay me to have children? Do you pay me to rear them?
Woman is gone.
You don't. But anyway,
That's the meaning of Marxist feminist.
We didn't veer up in the crazy. We didn't veer up in the crazy land now. We didn't veer up in the crazy land. This whole ideology is straight craziness. So I'm gonna pay you to stabilize the family and come together and love
and bring our generation.
That rebuilds society. So now you feel unvalidated as a woman and playing your role. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, that's how these ideologies have got the man-woman dynamic all messed up, and that's what they said they were going to do. See how I said we're going to do it? That's what it's done. Yeah, there's certain. We're not saying that you're supposed to be a slave to men. But the universe itself has positive and negative. This is science, okay? We're going with just regular science. You can go look this up. Prove me a liar. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
Define Marxist feminist.
Let me finish.
Define.
I'm 45 minutes over time. I really need to leave. Maybe you can continue some other time. I'd be more than happy.
Yeah,
but
I appreciate the conversation.
Thank you, Sinam, for joining us.
Thank you for coming.
It was a really great conversation.
Yeah,
Can you just define? I want to look it up, and I'll call you up on a different call live. Define Marxist feminism before you leave, because I'm gonna look for you, and we'll have this conversation again. What is Marxist feminism before our next conversation?
That's okay. And once we break it down, I'm more than opening to changing my train of thought.
What is Marxist feminist? So I can do my research.
I want you to defend your train. I want you to break it down. I want you, like I said, it's an argument. We're having a debate, so we all got to defend our positions. So I want you to defend your position, but we don't got time right
Marxist
now. It's you know what it is? It's straight craziness. That's what it is. I'll define it for you. It's straight crazy. It's complete confusion, and shout out to the CIA. She said, "This is the CIA. These white people are brilliantly wicked. They are brilliantly wicked." I'm arguing with an African woman, and she said, "How do you know that the CIA is doing these things?" What? What? Oh my God!
I said anyway, but I need to go for real. I just said
I know, we appreciate you.
I like being able to say that this is where I got my information from.
I've given you the source of my definition. I'm waiting for your definition. I've given you mine.
You can get
before you leave, Sinam, Jibra is saying, thanks, Sinam, for sharing your opinions.
Every time you still didn't share that Jesus on the screen of these Negroes bunked about, it's the Lord. You didn't want to show that shit. It's Jesus. Some homeless white man. Some homeless white man. She said, some homeless white man, and all these Kenyans are running behind, screaming and crying. Oh, it's the Lord.
Thank you,
So,
Much,
can I
Sinam, to
say,
such an
can I
enlightening
say bye?
conversation.
much,
Yeah,
much
sure,
love to you.
Sadiq.
Much love to you, sister. Much love to
Yeah,
you. Much love to you.
thank you, Sinam,
Much
for
love,
joining us.
Cynthia. I want to have another conversation with you. Please come with
We
your
will.
definitions, and I'll come with my definitions.
That's okay. I have no problem with that. I'm down for that.
Thank you, Saint. Thanks.
And I'm
Thank you
also
so much for having
open.
me.
I'm open to understanding your side of the view as well. I'm not just here to
Amazing.
talk. Yeah, and I hope you can
Amazing.
listen to me too. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sinam.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Much
Bye
Bye.
love,
bye.
Thank
sister.
you.
You have a
Thank
wonderful
you so
you have a
much,
wonderful
Leslie.
day, sister. Much love.
Thank you. You
Yeah.
too. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Leslie, also for joining us on Let's Swap. So the conversation in regards to the 4B movement and basically what
Wow.
it
This this
entails.
this the CIA man of mine, good woman sport. This how the CIA works. This how it works. That's why Eric Thompson talking about, I'm a Christian and I believe in the Jesus. This how it works. Indoctrination is
Kate,
real,
can I say
family.
something? Kate,
Good.
can I
Go
say
ahead.
Sure.
something?
Yes.
Yeah, I think, and I'm gonna say this. I think something which is very interesting, and I started noticing lately. I used to be one of those guys who will call people who think depopulation of the African people was a myth. I'm starting to believe it because we have shown we are dominant in all the fields. They went to golf, a white man's game. The best golf player is
Yeah.
a black man, Tiger Woods. They went to Formula One. They had to cheat the black man, Lewis Hamilton, of not winning the record winning. Every sport you go into, basketball, everything they're leaning. And then what have they realized? Okay, so the best way to stop these people is to have them from giving birth. Stop them from giving birth. They brought HIV. HIV did not work out. Somehow we did not die, all of
Hey,
us.
you
They brought
figured that?
COVID,
That's
and they thought we
right.
were gonna die, all of us, of COVID.
That's
We did not. It
right.
didn't work out.
That's right. But hold on,
And we
hold
still,
on.
yeah, and then,
Hold on, hold
I'm
on.
starting
Wait.
to think about it.
You can't say that on YouTube. They're banning it. You telling the truth exactly. See, we have to go out there and just be on the network. You're exactly right. They've been. This is called. They've been doing what you call eugenics on us. That's a fact. You're right. You're not. AIDS didn't come from us. That came from the lab in the United States, and it first affected white men. And then they took it to Africa, and their clandestine individuals talk about it down in South Africa. So yes, we brought it here. We purposely gave it to black people because we were trying to kill their ass. They told you about it. You got black people believe that some African in the Congo had sex with a damn ape and got AIDS. No, this was the green monkey or whatever the hell they talking about. The nonsense.
No,
That's the same thing with a
I'm
bone.
actually having a eureka moment. I think I'm gonna look deep into this. I think there's a depopulation agenda going on
Right.
because this absolutely makes no sense.
You are
It
late
makes
to
no
the
sense at this
party.
moment.
You are late to the
It
party.
makes no
Welcome.
sense.
Welcome to the party. You're late. Yeah, I'm glad you joined. Welcome to the party. You're late. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. yeah. Ding, ding, ding. That's exactly what it is. So yes, that's what Ebola is. That's why they run around Africa giving all these vaccines out everywhere. Remember when they did the Kenyan women, they sterilized 500,000 of them without their knowledge. The government was involved because the UN said through Bill Gates they wanted to sterilize the population of Africa because Africa's not what the youth. So power goes to the youth. So they worry about Africa and having these revolutions and overturning this system that they designed. So this is exactly what you said. All the things you said about depopulation. That's real. It's not an illusion. They've already written about it 100 years ago. It's called, study this. Go to the Rockefellers and Rothschild and study the eugenics program. Start studying. Go back to eugenics. It's gonna take you down a rabbit hole. It's gonna fuck your mind up. But that you on to the real thing. And so remember they got these South Africans like Irritam would go and say you're here to worship Jesus while they were shooting their ass up with AIDS. They was killing them with AIDS. That's a fact. You can go look it up on YouTube. They were giving them come worship Jesus, you goofy nigga, while I shoot your ass up with AIDS. This is a fact. It's not my opinion. These are facts. So yes, they've always wanted Africa without the African. If it's the richest continent, I don't want to share it with you. I'm already exploiting you. So my next move is to what?
True.
Wipe your ass out. I want Africa without the African.
And you
Yeah, I saw that video.
you You really can argue with that. It's going to sound very extreme, but that's what happened in the USA. They wiped out the Red Indians.
Yeah, duh. They wiped out. Listen, I've been all over the world. They wiped them out. They purposely wiped. Remember, they gave them disease blankets, gave them diseases, wiped their ass out. Then they wiped out the Australian black man in Australia. I remember when I was in Australia years ago. I was like, hey, man, where the Aborigines at? Hey, Mike, you got to go around. They're everywhere, Mike. Just keep walking around, Mike. You'll run into them, Mike. Stop walking around. Where are they at? I'm asking these white people, where are the black people, the original inhabitants of this land? Well, Mike, you just got to keep walking around. You're running to them, Mike. And when I ran into them, they were all drugged out, alcohol bins, all fucked up. Just like, if you guys don't understand, the island off of Australia was called Tasmania. That was a group of Africans. Knew they came African. They wiped them out. There's no such thing as a Tasmanian ever. They wiped these people out. They exterminated the whole people. They do not exist at all. It's called, you can look this up. The images of Tasmanian, the images of Tasmanians. These are Africans. They wiped them out. There's not a Tasmanian alive today. And that place is full of white people living their best life. They wiped them because they came with the G. This is the story. They refused to accept the white Jesus, right? They said, no, we're not going to worship you people. He said, no. So they started murdering them off, right? And then at the end, they said, okay, we'll worship white Jesus. Just don't kill us. See, this is the story Africans don't even know. The Tasmanians said, we'll worship your white Jesus. Just stop killing us. And when the remaining of them accepted Jesus, they still wiped them off. And the last Tasmanian, they cut off his head and they cut his body to pieces. They put his body on all four corners of the island. His head, his arms, his back, his legs. They put his body on all four corners of that island.
EWOTON, let me leave you guys.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay though. Are you there, Leslie?
Yeah.
Hey, Leslie,
Okay,
we'll talk again, brother.
okay.
Yes,
Thank you
it's
so much
good
for
having
joining
you.
us on
I
Let's
want.
Pop.
See. Look at those images here, Tom. Look at the images
Yeah.
of the Tasmanian. They don't exist no more. Those were Africans.
Right.
They murder
Right.
them off. They don't exist.
All right.
Because they
Thank you so
were,
We
for
just gotta
joining
get
us
two
on Let's
sets of
Pop
clothes
with
off.
EWOTON. Also about
Got it.
redefining Africa in different sectors, and we were talking about redefining African, basically going deep into the 4B movement. We had Leslie as our guest and Sinam and also Keith joining. Thank you so much. You can basically log in or basically stream live on www.blackoutfriendnetwork.com on StreamYard, live on YouTube, and also on TikTok. Always join and share the live, and also follow us on all the social media. It's been amazing. We have a few comments with Jiba saying, bye Leslie, great talk, brother. Good topic, EWOTON. Good to see you again, Leslie. That's General Mosquito saying, good to see you again, Leslie.
Thank you.
And also, yeah, thank you so much. Just have a few comments from Jiba and Big Cheese and also Keith and everybody who joined us. Thank you so much. It was a great conversation. We'll have a part 2 in regards to this. Thank you
it
so
was a
much.
great conversation. I appreciate Leslie. I appreciate
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
kid.
appreciate
Thank
the
you, EWOTON.
conversation.
Bye-bye.
Let's love,
Thank
family.
you. Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon and evening.
There's no chicken sandwich, no chicken salad for you, EWOTON. But great. There's no chicken sandwich. You better take that KFC and chop it up and put it in the salad yourself.
Thank you. So, I don't have a choice.
Yeah, that was a great conversation, guys. Shout out to EWOTON for being together. That lady's crazy. That's how propaganda works. She just gone. Shout out to Leslie. At least you know about the Jesus was phony. I had to work on EWOTON for years to understand that it was EWOTON. EWOTON said that's our culture. That's not your culture. White man brought that to you. I told you these religions. That's history. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. But no, family, peace.
Peace.
Hey, Kay, what's going on, Kay?